it's me, Roxanne, and I'm back today presenting a brand new pattern review for the dress that I'm wearing. I was lucky enough to be included as a pattern tester with Sinclair Patterns' brand new dress, the Alana Dress. So I'm going to tell you all about fit, size, fabrication, so let's get into it now. The first thing I want to tell you about this pattern is the fit. It's designed to fit in the shoulders and in the bust, and then it softly releases in the waist and hips. So it's very forgiving with a very nice flare at the bottom. This is the kind of dress that looks great on all body styles. The size range is from 0 to 30, and it includes petite, average, and tall sizing. They also have you covered when it comes to printing your patterns. You can have the AO, which is the large copy shop. You can have the A4, the European sizing, the letter sizing for us in the US, or you can also choose from a projector pattern, and they're all included with your purchase. I'm going to put up the size chart now so you can see that you pick your bust measurement for this pattern. I selected my bust pattern that was for a size 12, and that made sense because I've sewn a size 12 in Sinclair Patterns before, so their patterns run very true to size. Next thing I want to talk about is the fabric choice for this dress. They suggest you use a light to mid-weight, and that's exactly what I did. This is a mid-weight stretch velvet, and it has what's called nap. Nap means that when it's stroked in the lengthwise direction, it feels different in one way than the other. One way is very smooth and the other way feels a little bit more textured. Now that is a personal preference. I found that when I touched the fabric in the lengthwise direction down, I liked it better in the more textured direction. It gave it a little bit more of a deeper look, and if I turned the fabric around the other way, it gave it a lighter appearance. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is that you cut all of your pieces in the same direction. You don't want to turn your front princess line differently from your side princess panels, because then you're going to have different shading, and that's a big mistake, so you don't want to do that. The other thing that I did that was a little bit different is for my facings on the inside, I used a black stretch lining fabric instead of a self-made facing. I felt that the velvet would have been a little bit too heavy and wouldn't have given me the smooth appearance that I ended up with. This pattern only has 5 pieces and 2 facing pieces, so it's a very quick sew, and Sinclair Patterns rates this a 3 on their scale for a beginner. I do consider this a beginner pattern, and it's a very quick victory sew. I call a victory sew something that you sew up and you put on and you don't want to take off because it's so comfortable and you feel so great in it. There are no zippers, no closures to have any extra things to be concerned about. It's just a simple over the head one and done. So if you're looking for a quick victory sew, this is the dress for you. There are many options included with this pattern purchase. There are 2 necklines, a higher neckline, and the scoop neckline that I chose to sew. There are 4 different sleeve versions. The first one is a sleeveless version that is bra friendly, so it doesn't scoop out in the armholes in the front or the back, so your bra won't hang out. There's a short sleeve version, the 3/4 sleeve, which is what I chose to sew, and then there's a long sleeve version. The pattern also includes a shorter version, which I sewed, as well as a longer version. So it has many different options, as well as choosing to sew in the pockets. Yes, I said the P word. This pattern also includes a pocket in the side panel princess seams. I chose not to sew it for my dress because I felt with the stretch velvet it may have been a little bit too heavy for a pocket. But yes, this has the pockets so that we all love. So it's very inclusive of different variations. So you can make this dress many, many times and it can look different every single time. I wanted to share a little bit about the sewing tutorial that comes with your pattern, as well as the sewing construction techniques that I used. The tutorial is very inclusive. It includes all the information you'll need to select your correct size pattern, to pick your correct type of fabrication with the right amount of stretch. It will walk you through cutting, grading if you need to do so, sewing. It includes many sewing techniques, so it's very, very complete. And you should feel very confident if you're a beginner that this will help you construct your perfect Alana dress. Now for the construction of my dress, I chose to use my straight stitch sewing machine. I typically would have used my serger when constructing a knit, but for this particular fabrication, I didn't want my seams to be sewn together with a serger stitch. I felt that they would have been a little bit too bulky and showed through to the front of the garment. So my machine has an onboard walking foot. So I used that and it helped me control my fabric very well. And you may want to consider using a walking foot if you're using a lightweight knit. It helps control the fabric from the top and the bottom. Instead of it sliding around, it helps keep it more stable as you sew. Another thing that I wanted to share with you is that for pressing my stretch velvet, I used a needle pressing board. Now this is a notion that is not everyone has, but I have this because I've worked with velvets many times. And you place your pile against the needles and then you press on top on the wrong side. Now this prevents your pile from flattening or crushing on the right side. So this is something that you may be interested in adding to your sewing arsenal in the future. I wanted to share a little bit about my experience as a pattern tester, just in case this is something that you've been interested in experiencing. This was a wonderful experience. In the past, I had pattern tested for another company, and we were all just solo. None of us had any contact with one another or could see what each other was sewing. But with Sinclair Patterns, she opens a private Facebook group for all of us to share our makes and our ideas and the different fabrications we're using, and we can see each other's samples. So it really was very inspiring to be included, and I'm very happy that I was selected to be part of the testing group for the Alana dress. So I hope you've enjoyed this review, and if you've liked what you've seen, I hope you would consider subscribing to my channel for more pattern reviews that I'll be including soon. So as always, have a happy creative day. Bye now.